Just like everybody else, we're building on a budget. And just like everybody else that's building, we have come to the rude awakening that lumber is probably 4 times of what we budgeted. I've always wanted a sawmill, and I bought it basically as a hobby, but it's turning out to be so much more. So there's a lumber shortage. This lumber shortage has caused the cost of lumber to increase, which is bad for me and you. We checked out our local box store's webpage. Notice the price on the one in stock. There is no price. I thought it'd be best to call up my big box store and say, hey, how much does a 6x6 cost? There is, we're out of stock, but it'll be $160 to $190 when we do get it in. This is where the shock set in. I tore off to my local lumberyard, reversing course shortly after. The price was no better. As you can imagine, this perplexed me. $1,600 plus for 10 6x6s, 20 foot long. The finance committee was a little bit more than perplexed. What to do? Let's sleep on it. Something will come to us. This is when I come up with my master plan. We'll build laminate 6x6s. Treated lumber in the ground, sawmill lumber on the top. Let me tell you how this worked out. Hey, a little reality check here. So we were going to build the pole barn last year, and the year before that, we just kind of kept pushing it off because we were pretty comfortable at the time. Now we really need the pole barn. But our reality check is the price of lumber has literally tripled, almost quadrupled. I mean, listen, 6x6 is 20 foot long, $1,600 for 10 of them. We need 10 of them. So how are we going to combat that? Let me show you. This is what we're going to do. I got to tell you something funny. It was funny to me, and it's sad too. Kind of makes me want to cry. So we went to our box store to shop, and in the box store they had pieces of 2x4 pine untreated 2x4s, 2 foot long. They were selling 2 foot long pieces of 2x4s for $3 a piece. I thought that was scraps, but wow, $3 for, that's $1.50 a board foot. I'm glad we got a sawmill. All right, here's how we're going to offset the cost of the 6x6s. We're going to take 3 2x6s, put glue in between them, and screw them down the side, holding them together. According to the engineers, this is actually going to be stronger than a 6x6. Just watch this here. I'm going to show you what we're going to do to put the portion that's going to go in the ground is going to be treated, and the portion that's out of the ground is going to be our wood that we cut on our sawmill. The things you'll need: an impact screw gun, a tape measure, a square, waterproof construction adhesive, and 3-inch deck screws. This is the treated lumber that will end up going in the ground. This is poplar that we cut on our sawmill, and the first thing we're going to do is square off the end. What do we do before battery powered tools? We cut this poplar 2x6 on our sawmill, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link up above. We're cutting this to length so that when we mate this piece of poplar up to the treated lumber, the total length of the post will be 20 foot long. We're using the edge of the sawmill for a straight edge, but you could use a string, a long string, to do the same thing to make sure your board's straight. I think I'm going to dock the camera lady's pay. The shortest piece of 2x6 that'll be on the bottom of the post will be 5 foot, and we plan on burying the post anywhere between 3 and 4 foot deep, so that should give us more than enough. I'm being very liberal with these screws. You know, the more the merrier, I think. On the end, I put a long run where each board mates up on both sides. I think that's going to make it stronger in the long run. I'm probably using too much glue, but you know what? In this case, more is better.
Well, you gotta probably put something under the board to make it level more.
I mean, it's not rocket science by any means. It's literally not. Huh?
We have a nail gun.
Yeah, but screws are stronger. So I'm gonna go with screws. But it pulled it up right there. See it squish out the glue?
You could use the thing where you hook the locks on.
I think it's a good idea what you said earlier. Like the log plant.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome. Now we gotta take tractor and take this dude off because I don't think we can pick it up. So will this be as strong as a 6x6? Time will tell, but I know the budget really shows through. It's over $1,610 for the 6x6s from the store, and we paid $500 with a little bit of work. We are on a limited budget, and this saves us over $1,100. I'm okay with doing the little bit of work. That's a nice looking board, and notice there's no flex. Well, very little flex. Hey, so this is our 6x6. A 6x6 at the box store or our local lumber yard is running anywhere from $160 to $180, and in one place $190. We have less than $50 in here. I'm going to round it up, just say $50 with screw and glue, and then some wear and tear on our sawmill. The lumber come off of our poplar trees, but the lower 5 foot of this is treated lumber. So this part will go in the ground, and this part is treated, and we should be just as good as a treated 6x6. Actually better, because this can be considered engineered, and everything I read about this is stronger than a normal 6x6 post.